Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon down in Nashville.
Woo!
I like that. Rob Chafe, Mad Comification.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd, Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We are thrilled to death that you are listening to our show.
That's right.
Super fun times. Every time we get to sit down on the mic, I love it, I love it, I love it. It is great. And I get to do it with people that I really, really like in the world.
And Tony.
We are all, and Tony.
Let's not start the new year off like that.
Yeah. Well, no, honestly, I was telling, first and foremost, we have a great guest on the line. Guest, who are you?
I'm Kyle Wolfe, owner of Moon Guitars, and now head luthier at Grezenia Guitars as well.
What's that called? Foreshadowing. Yeah,
You can call it that.
We're going to talk to Kyle about, we're going to catch up with Moon because it's been a hot minute.
Moon Guitars.
Yes, and we are also going to find out about this new endeavor he's embarked on. Very exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, Kyle, where can people go check out the things that you do while they're listening to Tony?
Instagram is still the most up-to-date and current spot for updates, pictures, videos, what have you, but moonguitars.com, you don't even have to have the hyphen anymore. I got the regular full URL there.
Wow, big time.
Get on the newsletter. That's getting to be better than meta algorithms.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, as I was just about to say, now that we have you on board, I was kind of talking to my daughters about their friends and stuff, and we just got on the topic of conversation about as guys get older. I realize there's some ladies out there listening, so just bear with me. But as guys get older, it is difficult to have people around you that you feel like very familiar with, good friends, because everybody scatters off into their families and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm just always so appreciative of whenever I sit down at the table, I have friends at the table, whether they're online or whether they are at the actual table. And then Rob showed up tonight, which is great because I can
chance who was going to pick on Tony.
No. I invited you, and I'm kidding. You're in that conversation.
Okay, I thought this was going to go somewhere else.
No, I wouldn't pick on you.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then we got Jared out there. This is just going to be great. I'm very happy. And we're going to have a great conversation with Kyle. Please go check out his guitars. They are fantastic. And then we're going to find out all about this new endeavor he's on. So,
I have an announcement.
Excellent. I was just going to say, we've got a couple announcements.
Should I go first?
Sure.
So I think this happened a while back, but I don't know that we ever talked about it on the podcast. I want to send out a congratulations to our good buddy, Brian Nutter, who is now the head luthier at Novak Guitars.
Oh, yeah. We did.
That's right.
I don't think we talked about it, and then we forgot to mention it. So
He finally got the job.
yeah, so congratulations,
Well done,
Brian. We
Yes.
love you.
Yeah, well, actually, we should, I'm going to send him a note. We should get him back on.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So
Yeah, he actually got a hold of me and asked me a few questions. So, I was really excited to hear that he took that job.
Like, what does... Can you mix milk with bubbly water?
No, they were a little more guitar related.
Okay. I just,
Can
I
you-
I think
you
Tony
dip a-
Baloney can tell you that.
can you dip a guitar in bubbly water?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet Kyle's
can.
tried that before.
You can once.
Well, anyways, thank you, Tony. That's a great call out for that. I also want to remind everybody, you have until the end of January to get in on the Amperian speaker discount. And you just use Guitar Knobs 10, and you're going to get 10% off of a brand spanking new Amperian speaker.
Or speakers.
So you can buy as many as you want. You get a full cab. You can get one of each.
You can get it again,
And that includes
8x12.
That includes all the Alnico ones too. And I highly recommend the VSOP. It is
Yes.
a great speaker.
Very nice.
Also want to point out, I happen to be wearing a prototype hoodie that we've been talking about. Little zipper hoodies. You know, it's not like hoodies are like, oh my gosh, what? But we have new ones.
This one's like a biker jacket.
Yes. Well, I shouldn't say we have new ones. We're going to be placing an order for new ones for our supporters. And I thought, you know, if there's anybody out there who isn't on Patreon, but they still would be like, hey, I'd love to have a Guitar Knobs hoodie. Just shoot me an email, todd@theguitarknobs.com, or DM me, and you can, we'll hook you up. I won't know the cost until I find out how many people are doing it. I think we've got about 25 right now. So the more, the merrier, and that brings down the cost. So we'll take those for maybe about till the end of January, I'd say, and then we'll place the order. So
I like that idea.
yeah. Yeah, and we're not getting a penny. These are all getting just dropped. They're shipped out. So, you know, this is straight to you. All the monies.
Huh?
Go to the people who are making these. We're not,
Thanks, Todd.
We're not taking anything off the top is what I'm saying.
I gotcha.
Oh, golly. Okay, let's get on with our... I know that wasn't very smooth, but that's okay. I'm allowed one. Let's find out what's going on in our music world this week, starting with Tanya Bolonsky.
Yes.
And then we'll check in with Kyle Wolfe with an E.
With an E.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I was, not that I'll be able to participate, but I was kind of excited when I saw the announcement from Christie's that there is going to be a Jeff Beck guitar collection auction coming up at the end of this month. I think it's the 22nd.
Are you going to bid on anything?
No.
I guess you can bid when it starts, right? Like $1.
I mean, some of it...
Yeah, I can say
nothing starting
I
out
bid.
at
I
$1.
bid on that one.
I bid on everything.
Yeah. There's some stuff that's like, hey, I could buy that. And was like, yeah, but that's not after an auction.
Oh, and so, you know, so there are two things on there that I felt their estimated price was just...
Bananas.
Yeah, super low. Like, for instance, there's a Marshall, early Marshall, Super Trem JTM 45 head, and their estimate is $4,000 to $6,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh, that's crazy pants.
$5,000.
I mean, it's worth way more than that, even if Beck had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 20, 30 maybe more, because it's
Fair market for that amp, if it's in good condition, 10? Somewhere
Yeah.
between 8 to 12. So then you put the Beck thing on it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, and then the other one that is really interesting. So it's a 59 Les Paul
Yeah.
standard that he played in the Yardbirds. He got mad one night and busted it up, smooshed it. It was renecked with a 70s Gibson Les Paul neck, and their estimate is between 40 and 60,000 pounds. Now, I'm thinking
It's going to be so much more than that.
It's the body. It's got, I mean, the photos that I've seen of it, it looks pretty good. The reneck is actually pretty decent. So I mean,
there's the what was it? Electra? No. Yeah, it was Electra. Was it Electra? The double cut that I told you about.
Oh no, it wasn't Electra. It was Greco. Greco. Yeah.
That was cool. Black double cut. That's awesome. I'd grab that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I also have a white one, and that was only like 3,000 pounds, and I was like, what? But on the flip side, the most expensive thing that I saw, was another Les Paul that was like 360,000 pounds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's the starting bid, everybody.
Yeah.
350,000 pounds, whatever it was.
That's obscene.
I'm gonna. Can I use your credit card on that?
You can. It's not going to get you anything. Anyways.
Sir, your credit
So
card is
anyhow,
not-
it's cool. It's worth going. Go to Christie's.com. They've got a full catalog online. It's worth just seeing some
It's
of the
kinda
stuff
neat,
that's
yeah.
going to be there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just out of our price. Not Rob.
Yeah,
But
is there
our
any
price range.
yourself,
Is there
yeah.
any pointy stuff in there for Kyle?
Yeah, actually, I'm just
So
looking.
Jackson
there's,
V or Kelly or-
there's a Jackson Glendora
Oh.
in pink.
Well, all right. We don't have to typecast me as just a pointy guy.
Well, no,
I like other things too. I like
that
curves.
is true. That is true.
Yeah, so there's a couple of Jacksons in there that, hey, 8 to 12,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh yeah, I've got that under my pillow right now. Let me go get it.
Exactly.
So check it out. It's worth seeing.
Yeah, it's
some
kind
of
of
the
neat
historical
to see.
stuff.
Kind of neat to see. Let's see, Kyle. How about yourself? Without
And-
giving away any of your big story.
Well, without any big stuff. I mean, I've got plenty of guitar related stuff, but in terms of news, my wife got me the new Keeley rotary pedal for Christmas.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
I obviously this will be in my 4 on the floor later, but like, it's so good, and like, that it's a Keeley pedal. Of course, it's going to be good. There's a pretty high baseline quality coming from Robert anyway, but
Yeah.
man, I don't want to turn it off ever. Every time I plug a guitar in now. So much fun.
So it's. I mean, realistically, Hammondish.
It's very Leslie rotary cabinet sounding. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a stereo setup for my amp cabinet, so I'm just one 12-inch speaker straight at me, and it does genuinely sound like the sound is spinning around you in the room. It's very trippy, and I'm not into very trippy shoegazy type effects very frequently, but yeah, it really scratches that old bluesy itch.
Well, it's difficult to see your shoes too with that big long beard of yours.
Yeah.
I don't have a long beard right now. It's very short.
Oh, wow, that's
Booby.
news in itself.
Well, yeah, that should be a Guitar Week news right there.
I've kept it short for a little bit because I get bored sometimes, and then it's time to cut it off.
There you go.
Well,
That's what I said about my hair, and it never grew back. Okay, Rob, how about yourself?
Guitar Week. Update from whatever was a month ago. Remember, I've been dealing with volume issues at gigs. Everybody telling me I'm too loud.
Yeah.
So I got a Tone Shield version 3. It's a plexi baffle thing with a little stand. And they've had this out for versions of this for like 10 years. Joe
Sure.
Bonamassa used them for a while. But they were all what I would describe as clunky and not very elegant and not the easiest thing to move around for a guy like me that's going in little bars, right?
Yeah.
And footprint was pretty big on it. Well, the version 3 has a neat little metal stand that is like it contracts down and folds almost flat, maybe like 1.5 inches thick, so it doesn't take up much room. And the plexi panel folds down and fits inside of that.
Wow.
So it's very portable, comes with a little carrying bag even. So I said, let's go ahead and get this. It is awesome.
Wow.
Game changer.
Wow.
Such a huge difference. Yeah.
are they asking you to turn up now?
No. We don't have that problem, Tony. I just naturally turned up.
Now, are you running a higher volume to get the better sound out of your amp, or because you just need it on stage with like the drums and everything?
All of that.
All of that.
All of that, yeah. And the problem is that the bars, there's so many in the scene I play, which is the small bars where it's 100, 150 people max capacity. A lot of people in this area, at least, have switched to Kempers and Helix, all that. So they're all in ear. Sometimes even the drummer is electronic, so there's nothing coming off stage at all.
Yeah.
And the bar staff has gotten used to that, just a band being just whisper quiet. So me, at just a moderate level,
How's that nice?
you're preaching to
So
the choir.
people can hear each other talk.
Ask a
I guess
Smashing
so. Then you're at the
Pumpkins.
wrong bar, man. Go to a library. What the hell's wrong with these people?
That's what live music has become, is like, shh, we're talking here, you know? But anyway, but yeah, this thing, it's great. It normally when you stand in front of an amp, of course, you get kind of like this beam effect,
Yeah.
where the more directly in front of you, right? This diffuses that. So now, even before.
I like that idea.
Well, yeah, and even for me on stage, I was sidewashing. I've been sidewashing for like a decade too. But if I would back up a foot or two, EQ would be a little different, volume be a little different, all that.
Sidewashing.
Can we mute his mic? Can we control that?
No, if I had
I think
control
we
of
can
the
work
board.
it out.
Okay, now
But yeah, but with the shield in, all of that proximity effect thing, not all of it, but it's greatly reduced. So you can move around and your tone's the same, the volume is generally the same, and it just it softens the attack for everybody on stage. Nathan is across, he's on stage left, I'm stage right, bass player.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, when you step back and forth, the volume doesn't change like it used to.
Yeah, we should just send a whole bunch of those to Spacebar, just for free, so anybody can go actually listen to music there anymore.
Same thing, or they're telling you to turn down? Or?
Volume
It's
is
too loud.
bananas in there.
Or guys rolling in with like 412s and
No, it's the sound guy is deaf.
oh well, then
Like people have to stand in the other room in the back of the bar to escape it.
if the sound guy's deaf though, it doesn't matter how loud or quiet the stage
Yeah,
is.
and not deaf like cool like DEF, like deaf. You know.
Yeah, that's not
Anyways,
So, anyways, Tone Shield version 3.
Tone Shield. All right, Jared, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing fantastic. Just getting over some crud, health wise, but yeah, doing great. As far as my guitar of the week stuff, been having a lot of fun. Just doing my own music with my friend. We record stuff just for the fun of it, and it's exciting because new stuff and I get to play my guitars and use different effects, and I'm getting a ton of use out of the Mel 9 I've talked about before, which is by Electro Harmonics, and the C9 by Electro Harmonics. That's the organ version,
Right.
and I think I'm gonna look for a synth. Have the synth version out there too, and I don't know, man. I'm really digging all this stuff by Electro Harmonics right now. It's really it's a game changer for recording. Even if it's just really quiet in the background, you could just plug in your guitar and you feel like an awesome organ player. But so I've been doing that, and then what else? I did a mod for a friend of mine that has a bass at work. He's got an old Epiphone. It's an ES body style. I forgot what it's called. Don't make fun of me. But it's a very rare made bass. It's got it's a semi-hollow bass, Epiphone bass, and it's just has the mudbucker in it. And
Is that
the Jack Cassidy?
no? No, is
kind of.
Is it like the EB2?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of like that. Yeah. But it's not called that. It's a different name because it's an Epiphone, but it's a single pickup mudbucker. So I had an old vintage mudbucker that I wound half the output that they originally wound, which is 36K.
Woo.
And yeah, so if you put your multimeter on the regular setting, it'll read 0, so you'll think it's dead, but you have to put it on the next setting. But anyway, I did a half output just to have it not be so muddy, and I did this like 10 years ago, and I never found a use for it. So I felt like that old guy that, I don't know, got struck by lightning and finally found a use for this old pickup I had in the drawer.
Nice.
And so what I did was, the cool part, I took a concentric pot, which has a bottom pot and an upper pot control. It's kind of like a 2-in-1. And I took one of the coils, hooked it up to that, and ran a ground. And what that does is you can actually turn up the one coil up or down, so you can thin and thicken that pickup out.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a lot more use for a lot. Yeah. So and you still have your tone too. So there's a lot more use for that pickup than just being a John Wayne, single shot there. So
I believe the Epiphone EB2 is commonly called the Rivoli bass.
That's what it is. That's it. Yep, Rivoli. It's from the 90s, and it's actually a really cool bass. It's a really nice well-built bass, and it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean the ones from the '60s were really good too. They were built side by side with the Gibson versions, and they're
Yeah.
That's a good looking bass.
yeah.
Sort of like an
Yeah.
elongated.
It's like a 335 style.
Yeah, but just longer.
No, it's the same size.
No, it's longer.
Same size.
But
Longer.
Same size.
yeah, I thought I'd
You mean the body's
share
the
that
same
little-
size?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Yeah,
the
I mean,
whole thing is the same size.
No, the
it's
neck
got
is
that
longer.
60s.
That's what I was like, seems that's the smallest bass ever.
Well, because the EBs that's a short scale bass, isn't it?
Well, the SG ones, yeah.
Yeah, the EBSG. SC.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This
It's
bass
probably
has
along
that
with
nice,
a 25 and a half inch scale length. So.
that nice 60s thump that he was looking for.
that's cool. Very cool.
It's got like 10 frets
So
on it.
for my,
Todd.
we thank you. Very
Hey, Todd,
much.
what about you?
Oh, hi, everybody. I actually got I found these two guys on Instagram, two different people. Now, they happen to have sort of complex monikers. One is his name is Nobuki Takamen, and he's just a guitar guy. And every day
does
he's
he
like,
play Takamine guitars?
No,
Oh,
every day he's like, I think he's sort of like a jazz based guy, but
Oh.
but he's not like Spaghetti Fingers jazz, right? He's like just like bass level kind of. It's cool. He's like, hey, do this today, and it's like some cool exercise just to like get your fingers more active and stronger, and little things that progressions that I'm like, oh, that's different. I don't think I've heard that before. So that's Nobuki Takamen.
uh-huh.
And then the
That's
other
strictly
one is,
bass? Strictly bass?
No, that's guitar.
I thought you said... Oh,
Bass level.
oh bass level.
Yes. And then the other one is
E.
Orisis Dosis. I know, it's weird. That's the guy's name. But it's also, easy to get into. Not here's a big giant, theory story about why this is it's just like, here's the thing, do this, whatever. And I find those actually kind of helpful because it doesn't make you feel like, okay, I got to sit down and like do this big giant exercise and learn all this stuff. It's just like, hey, here's something new to do, or to, if you don't know what to play and you're like, geez, I want to play, but I don't know what to play this. So kind of fun. I like finding those.
There you go.
There you go. Two guys, Nobuki Takamen and Orisis, or like Oreo, Orisis Dozis, Dozis. All right, go find that stuff. Anyways, so that's
Nice.
yeah, that's what I got.
Did you learn anything?
Well, I mean, I learned a couple new things that
you learned some new names.
Yeah, I learned some new positions and stuff. That's kind of cool. All right, so let's find out.
No.
What, Tony?
Okay.
Tour gear.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
Hell was that?
Tour gear.
I know that we didn't talk... Well, we did talk about some pedals,
Yeah,
but
we're about to talk about more.
I know. But here's the deal. What if you have a lot of different... Like Jared, he was talking about, he's got all these various...
Tour Gear designs patch cables, Tony. That's the words that you're looking for. And they stitch the pedals together nice and easy. All kinds of different sizes, different shapes.
Do they
different
really
lengths.
stitch them together?
Well, technically they do. Yes.
Huh.
Yes,
They're
it is a
stitched.
stitch because you're using wires as the thread.
I
If
see.
you go to tourgeardesigns.com
Yes.
and fill up your cart and then
Yes.
go to you're going to be like, wait, where's the coupon code? Trust us. It's there. You have to go past the cart and say, yes, I'm going to commit to this. Then you get the coupon code. You put in the guitar knobs and you're going to save 15% on your entire order.
15%.
That's
It's worth it,
fantastic
guys.
stuff. And they're great little
We love 'em.
pieces of gear.
Yes.
Thank
got a
you to
bunch
Tour Gear for sponsoring our 4 on the Floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor. Hey, Kyle Wolfe from Moon Guitars. What is your 4 on the floor?
Whoo boy. I gotta say, lately I think my setup is pretty much how I want it. Gotta have an Electro Harmonix Qtron.
Ooh.
Now,
Go
ahead.
That seems like one of those pedals that's like, that's a good no.
See, I don't like using a wah pedal
Uh-huh.
because I'm weird and bad.
No, a lot of people don't.
I really like the effect that's close to that I can get, but that I can kind of control by my picking attack or by finger picking and get the expressiveness that way instead of having to roll my ankle back and forth.
Right. Yeah, so it's a cocked wah kind of thing.
No.
Yeah, it's an auto
dynamic
filter.
wah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But you can use it like a cocked wah.
No.
You cannot? Am I in my
A Qtron?
Yeah.
It's an envelope filter.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it just
you can't
goes
fix
forever.
You can't fix it?
Can't.
No.
Oh, well, I'm mistaken. Clearly.
Yeah, the harder you hit it, it'll respond different.
Yes.
Got it.
You see that? You need one.
If you play real light, it's like you can't really hear any effect, and then you.
Right.
Kyle's right, man.
Yeah, that would be bad for my kind of
It would just
playing.
be all the time. Just be constant. Yeah, and that's exactly
Right.
Yep. That'd be pretty much it.
70s
if
funk, that womp, 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 womp.
Right. If I'm
That's
Tom
an envelope
Morello, that's
filter.
awesome. But
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not playing any 311 tunes?
Yeah. So what you do use that pretty consistently? Is it like a heavy effect or just like lightweight? I'm assuming you can kind of dial that up and down.
Yeah, you can really dial it in based on how much you want, and it is the one I have at least. The Qtron Plus is stereo, so you could always split it up and get it real crazy.
Wow.
I don't have a stereo rig, so I just use it normal. But I flavor it in when I'm noodling around, when I'm soloing. If I want a little more, again, of that like wah pedal kind of thing going on, just a little more expression than just me fumbling around the pentatonic scale.
Yeah. Now, what kind of things are you noodling these days? Like, what type of music?
I mean, counter to what I would use the pedal for normally, I've been playing a lot of Tremonti.
Okay.
Trying to get my speed chops up a little bit, but also because every band that he's been in, I love all of them. Alter Bridge, Creed, his solo stuff, his Frank Sinatra album is incredible. No guitar on that really, but playing a lot of that, and then also diving back and doing more Hendrix stuff.
Oh.
Which, I feel like a lot of people feel like that's the obvious way to go, but I was always more Stevie or more John Mayer or like newer takes on
Right.
Hendrix stuff, and I'm only kind of just starting to really appreciate, especially the old. I know they're old. He's been gone forever. The live Hendrix performances and some of his different takes on his own recordings and speeding up, slowing down, what have you.
Yeah. There's one that I saw. I've seen it a couple times, but recently I kind of caught it again. And I think I could be wrong, but I think it was like at the Royal Albert Hall. I'm probably getting that wrong. It was like an auditorium of some sort, and it was he had like 2 or 3 full Marshall stacks.
Yeah.
And there was people just sitting like 10 feet away from us. I was like, I can't imagine how deafening that would have been.
Well, if they were only 10 feet away, it may not have been as deafening as if you were like 30 feet away because of the projection on those
I
things.
guess so. But if you're sitting on the floor and there's forget about the dynamics, Tony. I'm just saying it might have. I can't imagine how loud. What
did he have a Qtron Plus?
I don't think so. But actually, when they do have a rear camera view of that, and you can see he's got a wah and he's got a fuzz face.
Oh, cool.
So,
the Hendrix rig.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyhow, cool. What's the next pedal?
Next pedal, Thorpe Effects, the Dane.
The Dane.
It is a drive and a clean boost together in one. It's purple on the sides for Danish Pete from Anderton's, and man, is it good! I've had a couple different boost pedals, drive pedals. I kind of took my Tube Screamer off the board and dropped this on there, and I feel like I use the boost side of it anytime I have something with single coils going, because it fattens it up a little bit. It doesn't just give you that kind of glassy push. Right. I literally will never take that off my board. It's my favorite drive pedal I have.
Wow.
So that's kind of
high marks.
Their take on the Sparkle Drive or the Tony Baloney pedal.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. I haven't compared it to the Tony Baloney.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty good, I'm telling you.
Yes, it's delicious.
That could possibly dethrone it. I don't know. I might have to check it out.
The color is certainly cooler.
Yeah, indeed. And speaking of that, we do have one left.
Oh.
So I've been talking about it now. I don't want to I'm not throwing a sales pitch in front of Kyle's thing. There's one left, so if you want to get a hold of us, then you can have that. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3, definitely what I was talking about earlier, the Keeley rotary pedal. I just want to leave it on all the time and either bring the speed way down or it has a blend knob on it so you can back it off, and it is just kind of subtle happening in the background. But for any time I'm not playing solos, if it's during a verse or something like that, again, especially with playing any kind of blues stuff.
It's got a great look to it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The knobs on it, I did not realize from pictures.
Oh, I see them now sideways, yeah.
Yeah, the texture of them, the carve and everything on those knobs is crazy, but just a wild detail I was not expecting when I opened that box up.
Yeah, it looks almost like old PV mixer knobs.
Yeah.
Only smaller.
Yeah.
Much.
So, have you ever used a Rotovibe? A Dunlop Rotovibe?
I haven't
Okay.
tried that one. I've played a couple different, rotary style pedals, and I have gotten to play through a real Leslie rotary cabinet, which spoiled me. It's why I've ever been interested in this at all, is kind of chasing that. But no, I haven't tried the rotary vibe.
Okay, I was just kind of curious because that was kind of my go-to, and it's a decent pedal, but this actually looks a little simpler, and I'm guessing there's like a speed up, speed down switch on there. Is that what it is?
Yeah, on the right side of it.
The big giant knob that says speed, Tony.
No, the
switch for
the
half.
switches.
Oh,
But you can-
that says
you can
boost
control-
or mids.
No, the foot.
Do you
switch,
understand what a
Goofy.
foot switch is?
Oh, you didn't
Todd?
say foot
The other
switch.
foot switch,
You just said the switch, and there's this big switch right next to the speed
the one that
knob.
marks slow and fast.
Slow and fast. Yeah.
Okay.
Does it ramp up?
It does ramp. You can control the rate that it ramps up if you open the back of the pedal up. You can also change where your settings from slow to fast are too. So it's not just the big knob just controls one or the other,
Cool.
One
We'll
of
have
the
to
few
check that
times
one out.
that happens.
Yeah.
So,
Very neat.
then this is the Beach Boys one, right?
The Beach Boys one?
They're the same. He's looking at a limited graphic.
Oh,
Sweet.
yeah,
Wow.
because they have the "I Get Around" pedal from the Beach Boys. I think Mike Love signed them. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, no, it would only have one big knob if
Yeah.
Mike Love signed it.
Anyways, cool. How about number 4?
Number 4, I've got the Keeley Caverns Delay.
That's a great pedal.
That's tough to beat.
It really is. Same deal. I've had a couple different reverb and delay pedals, and I mean nothing beats amp reverb most of the time, but for when you don't have amp reverb or you just want something a little different, a little more controllable, like you said, it's hard to beat that pedal. There's so much. I mean, obviously it's got a ton of knobs on it, but there's so much you can do with it.
Yeah. Well, and especially with the spring, the shimmer, and the modulation aspect, and on the reverb side and on the delay side is the deep and light. I actually had that pedal on my board for probably about 2 years, and then I drifted off it and tried a few other things, but it stares back at me on the pedal rack. So
It's waiting for you to come back to it.
I just might. Cool, man.
So back to
What?
the Keeley.
Yes.
So I think that is the standard release, but they also make a California Girls 12-string simulator.
Oh my.
That's in that same series. I just happened to notice that as I was looking. So that might be worth checking out, that series.
Yeah, that sounds, again, like a really cool, useful effect, especially if you can blend it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, this one just says rotary. The other one's got a bunch of other stuff all over it.
Yeah, that's the normal one or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Los Normales.
But there is, like I said, there's a 12-string simulator that is in that same Beach Boys vein. Mm-hmm. So he must have like a handful of
Yeah,
Beach Boy branded.
right.
Guess so. All right. Well, hey, man, thank you for sharing that with us. We
welcome.
have a lot to talk about. You and I connected this fall, and you dropped that really great announcement on me, and we were just going to connect anyways. I was like, well, wow, that's some great news. But I think at the time you were still like, it's not necessarily super public news at that point. So we decided to wait a little while.
Right.
But now you get to unleash the news. So for those that don't know who you are, can you give the just a brief summary of like who you are, what you're about?
Yeah. So I started in guitar repairs way back 2007, and did that for a few years while I was working other jobs. 2017 started my own company and then started designing guitars. And in 2020, I stopped doing repairs and have just been building guitars under Moon Guitars, my company. I only make my own designs, and up till very, very recently, I've pretty extensively just gotten by doing custom orders. So people would email in, DM in, and kind of work with me on what specs they want, what woods, pickups, etc., but on my shapes. So I'm working with Grezenia Guitars now.
Nice.
I had met the owner, Alex, last year. We've mutual
How do you spell
friend.
that, by the way?
Grezenia, Grzenia. I had mistakenly said Grezenia, and Alex, the owner, it's his last name. He corrected me, and I've been like repeating it to myself over and over under my breath to make sure I don't say it the wrong way.
Oh, that's some cool designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a great partnership because a lot of my designs with Moon are, I don't want to say they're more Fender style because they're not, but like Jackson, Charvel, pointy 80s guitars, bolt-on necks, humbuckers style, where the Grezenia stuff is definitely more Gibson inspired.
Yeah, I could
maybe a
see
little-
that. Some of the RD stuff, but there's the
The offsets are there.
the offsets are definitely there too.
Yeah, and
There's like a double RD
Yeah.
called
They're-
a Hussar.
yeah, they've got a lot of options for, I mean, almost anything you could want if you like heavy music, and yeah, it's just been a really interesting evolution to this friendship with him, as we met through a mutual friend, Fuzz Drones, who has done demos for each of us, and just kind of got to talking, started sharing some resources as far as like wood vendors, different places to get certain kinds of hardware, things like that. Stuff that, I mean, a lot of times in the past, I've talked to other builders that are like very protective and private about stuff like that. So both of us being kind of open and happy to share and help was refreshing, and that kind of kicked things off into what it is now, which is I'm going to be building their U.S. production, where a lot of their previous guitars are imported from Korea.
Ah.
Yeah, it's very exciting. That's why I'll be at NAMM next week. Be there with them at their booth. That's the guitars that I've been working on for the past couple of months, which is kind of why I've been quiet on Instagram. Been grinding away to get some really, really cool custom US builds for them. Got 2 in the Royale model, which is the RD inspired one. I've got a Hussar here, and I also have an Empress, which I don't know if it's on their website or not. It is.
I think it is, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are they based in Jersey as well, or?
No, so Alex is actually based in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're really kind of spread out, and I have not met him face to face yet. It's entirely been over the phone, over DMs. Had a couple like FaceTime calls, but yeah, no, it's very cool. I'm very excited to see how it continues to evolve for both of us, because he's been very, very good about not wanting to limit my time with Moon.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to add, that was going to be the next question. Are you're going to continue with Moon? But that
absolutely.
Sounds like you are, yeah.
Yeah. If anything, he's helped kind of reframe how I want to think about Moon business planning wise. Again, like I said before, I have largely gotten by in the past doing custom orders, and that's been awesome. It's been great getting customer feedback, and like nothing makes me happier than having someone kind of give you the idea for a guitar they want. I execute the idea, and once they get it, they hear these glowing reviews of, man, this is even better than I had imagined. Like that's fulfilling and inspiring, and makes me want to do it more. But at the same time, if you scroll down my Instagram page, my vibe is all over the place.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm really going to hone in on this year is I'm going to work on more production. I'm going to make a lot more of what I want to make. I have 2 new models coming out this year. One more pointy than anything I've done yet for the heavy music guys, and
But
I've also
more
got
pointy or more points.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And then I've got one in the opposite vein that is kind of a love letter to the Gibson and PRS fans out there. I have shared it with a couple people. I don't have one done yet. I have a rendering of what one of the 2 that I'm in the middle of making once I'm done this NAMM grind right now is going to look like. But it is based on a model that Gibson made a couple separate times, but it's never been a production model like long-standing. The Gibson ES 335S is a solid body variant that's a little smaller than a 335. I kind of took some ideas from that in terms of like proportions, put the usual Moon spin on it in terms of giving it some pointy horns. They're not that pointy, but giving it the vibe that the rest of my guitars kind of have. And it'll be the like less pointy 80s shredder model for, again, people that like P90s and pretty woods.
Yeah. Next, you should do one based on the Sonics.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for these guys to give me the business. I think the Sonics look really cool. I know they're not the best players.
I don't even know what that is.
You should buy
Yes,
one.
you do.
It's a bolt-on Les Paul.
Well, and it's got the plastic, the resin body around the wood.
I will tell Cesar
Right.
we need to do.
There was a
Sonics.
wooden core, with a bunch of plastic gooped on the outside and then carved into
like
shape.
resin and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like resins. and
Never
stuff.
pay attention to that. Wonder why.
It's just got a cool vibe to it. That's all.
Cool vibes are what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, don't listen to that, man. That's really interesting. The 335S. That's not one that's brought up often. I don't think I've seen.
I think
too
they're
many out there.
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
world.
they're kind of heavy. If I had,
Yeah.
if I had to guess.
They definitely are, and I've really tried to take into consideration how I can make them broadly appealing.
Sure.
if I can find any words to put to it, like really want to keep the weight controlled. I really want to keep the balance controlled. I am doing them as set necks, so it'll be the first Moon model that is standard with a set neck. And
Are you kind of doing like the? No, I don't want to give anything away. Okay, so
go ahead.
you just blink twice if I'm right.
We're on an audio only call, so I'll think.
I will see it.
You kind of do the horns on your guitar sort of like almost like a saddle horn,
Right?
and I imagine that would be applied to this. Am I right?
Very similar.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So again, I didn't copy paste anything from any of my other models onto this one. It is fully
Oh, okay.
designed from the ground up, just kind of made to fit in with the rest of the lineup aesthetically. Because I've somehow, I don't know that I did this fully intentionally over the years, but I've done a job that I'm proud of in really keeping a harmonious blend across the lineup. It's not the words I wanted at all, but that's what my brain gave me.
A
in that-
continuity. A continuity.
Continuity.
Yeah, you know when you look at one of them, like, oh, okay, that's from
the
that
Moon
guy.
Guitars. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I've actually
I
seen
guess-
things that are edging towards that, and that I've sent you over the years. I'm like,
I
have you seen
appreciate it
this?
every
Have you seen this? Like, yes, my lawyers are already working on that jump.
now the only thing I'm getting protective of nowadays is my headstock shape. There's a handful of companies out there that have started copying that, so I have a trademark pending.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Smart, very smart.
Thank you. It was not cheap to do, but you
Worth it.
exactly. It'll be worth it in the long run.
Did you get a design patent or a actual trademark?
Just a trademark.
Okay.
A design patent seemed like it would be a little more complicated to
It is, yeah.
pull off. Yeah.
Functional.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Very nice. Very nice. Now, tell us about, because I know that there's a lot of builders that are not necessarily pumping out loads and loads of guitars. I don't want to
Sure.
say smaller builders. I don't think that's really a fair assessment, but that's really the only adjective that's kind of used.
Short in stature.
Short in stature, but no, that are making big, great, amazing things. But I'm thinking of a few who have actually started to make a transition, an unexpected transition, not unlike yourself. Can you help us through like that sort of like the process of saying, okay, I've worked so hard to build this thing up, to build my house. Now another guy comes along and says, hey, I want you to build a few more of those houses, but make them look like the houses that I want to make,
I got you.
and I just feel like there would probably be a lot of pulling in different directions for you to make that decision and considerations therein. Can you talk to us about your experience there?
Yeah. So more on the design angle of it, or
Well, there's the design angle, but also just you spent all that time and you've gotten yourself to a place where all of your stuff is recognizable. So then to say, okay, but now I'm going to go do work for someone else that isn't my stuff.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it wasn't a struggle at all. I don't know. I'm just asking.
It definitely wasn't a quick decision to make. There was a lot of talking to my wife. Obviously, is my sounding board for all things. She's a saint for putting up with the amount of, hey, what do you think about this? Yeah, okay, I really kind of just wanted to hear myself talk. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
What do you
no,
think about purple? No, I'm going to do it anyways.
they're all going to be purple every time, always. No, Alex kind of approached this maybe the best way for my kind of neurodivergence, I guess, in that I didn't immediately like write it off and go, nah, it's crazy. I don't want to do that. No, thanks.
Yeah.
It really started as, hey, what would you think about making a couple guitars a year for us so that we could also start doing USA stuff? And then, I really had to think about, again, with him kind of coming from more of a Gibson angle in his designs, me coming from more of a, just in general, two very different angles design wise. How can I like get inspiration from this that I wouldn't otherwise have, because I'm a one-man shop. I work from home, so I do kind of fall into a bit of a feedback loop just, working by myself. And I think what ultimately made me want to do it and kind of want to start talking through with him how we can make it work logistically and not just from a design or, hey, do you have time to do this for me angle?
Yeah.
Really was, again, inspiration. Like I wouldn't have come up with the new model I'll be dropping that I was telling you about, the double cutaway one. I wouldn't have come up with that if it weren't for him kind of suggesting, like, you know what I think your lineup doesn't really have is blah, blah, blah. And likewise, I kind of hit him with the same thing. So there's a new model we'll have at NAMM for the Grezenia stuff that I helped design for their lineup that just kind of seemed like it was missing. And really, it was that process of designing a new model for someone else that's not based on my existing kind of continuity. It doesn't have my horns or, whatever to it, my pointy aesthetic. It was fun and kind of set off the reward chemicals in my brain in a way I wasn't expecting. And that I kind of wanted to chase that. I wanted to see how I can push myself creatively when someone else is kind of giving me the starting impulse. And then also just on the more technical side, building guitars wise, just I kind of had to come up with different jigs than I would normally use to make the guitars, because again, I'm doing everything by hand. I don't have a CNC machine yet. Oh, but soon.
Yeah.
It forced me to use my brain a little different, and I immediately got some benefit that I could kind of carry forward with my own stuff. And so I couldn't say no,
Yeah. Well, if you're being stimulated creatively, then, that's a path to follow ridiculously as fast as you can, as much
Absolutely.
as you can, I think.
It
regardless
really
of what
does.
that is.
Yeah. It parallels kind of what you were saying earlier with the two musicians you found recently. You kind of need something every once in a while to be like, hey, play this. Hey, or, noodle around in this fun new thing you haven't thought of before. Because it kind of gets your mind going in ways you're not expecting, or it can help get you out of a rut, which is huge.
So if I've asked this and you've answered it. I don't think I did, but it sounds like what you're doing is because they have their like the standard production line, which I think you were talking about, right?
Correct.
And
yep.
so you're basically sort of like doing the custom shop version of this.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. I just want
yes.
to get absolute clarification on that so we know what to expect.
For sure. Yeah. We're both contributing to the specs. I'm trying to get him to take the charge on that a little more after NAMM, but all of these will be very custom shop vibe in terms of exotic woods. They're all going to be
Custom
unique.
paint.
We'll do custom finishes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some are going to have kind of fancier options than you'd find on the rest of their production style stuff. Obviously, the cost is going to be a little higher because it's U.S. made versus made in Korea, or I think they've also done made in Indonesia, or that might be something they were playing around with, trying to have a lower cost option. But regardless, it won't be as cookie cutter. It'll be more distinct.
Yeah. Well, these are at these are a pretty decent price point for this style of guitar, especially, with, do they all have active pickups?
No, they do passive pickups as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think the first couple I saw, I think looked to have active pickups.
For sure. I picked up one of their Jaegerin models, the offset. I got a baritone and it has active pickups, but I've played a few of their production models now. Took some measurements off of them and all of that for the stuff I'll be making. But man, at that price point that they're putting out, the quality is crazy.
Yeah. So that Jaegerin that you were just talking about is 1650, and that's a baritone model, right?
It is. The one I got, I think they also have a non-baritone version.
Yeah.
But
the Nero Jaegerin is 27-inch baritone scale. Yeah, that's a slick looking guitar, man.
It's super comfy, set neck, which is really nice for something like that.
And that's a good point because it's an offset with a set neck, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, the sustain on it's great. I was really impressed with the fretwork because I'm so used to getting new guitars that kind of need a little fretwork in the upper register a little bit. This didn't need anything. I have the action so low on that thing it plays itself, and not a buzzing note to be found.
Excellent, nice. So you said you're bringing a couple guitars. Is it your version of the Grezenia guitars, or is it, or are they the Moon guitars that you're bringing to NAMM?
Everything we'll have at NAMM will be the Grezenia stuff. I did not have time to get more Moons ready. I only really have a couple in stock right now, and that's part of why I want to focus Moon a little more on having production, because I'd love to have more stuff on hand to send out to musicians to check out.
Yeah.
To be able to bring around to some stores and get more dealers if I can. Where I've been limited by that in the past, so I didn't have them in time, but next year, hopefully.
Cool. Excellent. Out of curiosity, do they offer, do you kind of just get your own choice of like what kind of pickups are they using? By the way, what kind of pickups are they using for these?
I know Seymour Duncan is the go-to. I know they can get Fishman. I know they can get EMG if you want active stuff, but generally, Seymour Duncan is the way to go.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, that's an exciting story for you because I know that last time we talked to you, you were a dude in a shop in Jersey making funky shaped guitars, and
I still am.
You still am.
I was closed for 5 months last year because we were planning a move to Seattle.
Oh.
My wife is a scientist. She works in biomed. My wife just cured type 1 diabetes.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Cured it.
We should have let off for that.
You what?
The product that she makes for her company that she just oversaw, it done cured it, man.
Holy crap. Tony.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat me some cake after this.
I'm more a type 2 guy.
The company she works for was kind of talking about a position out there. So we had gone out a few times, looked at neighborhoods, kind of gotten ready for this move. I closed Moon in anticipation so that I wouldn't have customers waiting on me for orders while all of that's going on, and I didn't know exactly how long it would take. And it kind of kept getting kicked down the line a little bit. We'll have an answer for you in a month. We'll have an answer for you next month.
Yeah.
We'll have an answer for you this fall. And it kind of just fell through. By the time they finally had an offer ready, she wasn't happy with it, and we decided we're staying. So I'm still a Jersey boy.
There you go. Well, that's a very exciting new update for you, man. I'm really happy. And
thank you.
You know, you shared a bunch of details with it, but honestly, the idea of, and this is like I said, I've seen this happen to a couple of friends where you guys have been toiling away, just doing your thing and saying, I'm going to march by my own drum. And then somebody else says, holy crap, man, I love what you do. And I would love for you to do that in some way, shape, or form with me, applying your commitment to quality, your commitment to craftsmanship, etc. That in itself is got to feel so good.
It does. It really is a lot more fulfilling in a way that I'm usually really good with metaphors or like analogies in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a good analogy for it because it's, I started the company because I like these designs and it was stuff that I just wanted to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was making guitars on the side while I was offering repair work. So it kind of does feel like I got away from that a little bit in taking custom orders for so long, and now kind of getting back to doing what I want to do and what interests me. It's fun,
Yeah. It's quite an accomplishment. So congratulations, man.
Thank you very much, man.
You bet. Well, we can't wait to see you out at NAMM. But before we get over to NAMM, I think we got a Would You Rather in store for us.
Let's go.
That's right. Everybody pile up in the old El Camino. Come on down to Nashville so we can play a little game of Would You Rather?
Ooh, the vibrato was choice.
That's right, man. Thanks. This Would You Rather is going to have something to do with NAMM, so listen up. You're walking down the street, sipping from a bottle hidden in a paper sack. Then you trip over a garage sale table and a genie appears out of a NAMM branded water bottle.
That's a lot that happened in a few short steps.
Wow.
Well, good. You're drinking from a bottle hidden in a sack.
Yeah.
The genie grants 2 wishes with limits pertaining to the NAMM show.
What's the genie's name?
NAMM.
Oh my gosh.
The first wish is to have special access to artists signing autographs and a hangout jamming session with Norm's Rare Guitars there to provide the gear.
Whoa.
Right?
Okay, that's
that's huge. So artists include Jimmy Page, Keith Richards, Slash, and anyone else you want. But you cannot set up a booth, which would, it could be a huge miss of a lucrative business opportunity.
Is there like a buffet involved?
There's all that. but you cannot set up a booth at all. You're just going to be there to be with the artist and all that stuff in Norm's Rare Guitars. The second wish would be to have a 40 by 40 foot booth with all expenses paid, including premium advertising tools, signs, personnel to assist. And it will be in the spot where the most traffic is. It's the absolute best spot possible. This could be a huge lucrative business opportunity, but you won't be able to leave the booth for any reason except to use the restroom. This means you will not meet the artist and they won't see you either. So which wish are you going to go with?
Okay. Interesting. While we're deliberating, we should also plug the fact that there is a great new documentary on Netflix called The Norman's Rare Guitars documentary.
right.
The
Fantastic.
documentary.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, Tanya.
Well, that's a very interesting couple of choices.
That's a lot of detail that you just dropped in there, Jared.
It didn't take me long to write.
Now, does the booth space have a buffet?
No, you have to be uncomfortable and your feet will
About the
hurt.
buffet. Which one has the better food selection?
Which one has the warm sushi?
That sounds awful.
Now, I'll give you this, Tony. You can have a sushi vending machine
Oh.
at your booth.
Nice.
That sounds terrible.
Room temperature sushi.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Hopefully they have chicken sushi. That's my favorite.
Okay, go.
You know, boy, I mean, from a business opportunity standpoint, having a big booth like that in the prime location with staff and everything, that would really come in handy. But man, the experience of hanging out with the VIPs and checking out Norm's Rare guitar stuff. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to go with that first option. I want to hang out with the stars.
Yeah.
And the guitars.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
All right, Rob.
Well, let's assume that I have something to sell.
Of course.
I'd say the business opportunity.
Yours would just be bring me your amps and I will crap on it.
No, no. This would assume you'd have something to sell.
Yes.
Otherwise, NAMM.
Well, you're selling
would
your
have no-
services. You can do that.
Yeah,
You're getting the word out.
At NAMM, I don't think that's going to
Yeah,
be.
that's fair.
You know what I mean? Do you live around Columbus, Ohio? No. Oh.
I still think it's crazy that you haven't designed your own amp. I don't understand that. I really don't. Money.
money.
He likes fixing them.
Dude.
Talk to guys who build amps.
You got stacks of mattresses in your basement stuffed with that stuff.
No. What I'm saying is talk to guys who own small boutique amp businesses.
Yeah, I
and
know.
they'll be
Whatever.
Like, well,
Whatever. Okay. So you're doing what you're doing number one?
no, I'll do number two.
Oh.
Number two.
He wants the business opportunity.
Yeah,
What's the
that's
business
what I say.
opportunity?
Assuming I would have a business,
Yes.
aware to sell. Yeah, I would say definitely the business. I'm not.
I think
don't-
an amp manufacturer should approach you and say, "We'd like you to design an amp for us."
That could happen at the thing at NAMM. I mean, that's
Are you hiding something
No.
from me right now? Yes, you are. Yes, you are, because you didn't say you didn't outright say
There
no.
was a reason he wanted to go to NAMM.
No.
You scoundrel.
No.
He's going to change his name to Dr. Chafe.
Yeah. Anyways, Jared, how about
Doesn't have the
yourself?
same ring.
that's really tough. I'm going to do the business opportunity just because of experience.
Okay.
All right.
I totally. There's no question.
All right.
And what would you be selling?
Stuff that
12
people want to
gallon
buy.
baseball caps.
Yep.
Is there any rule if you get a booth at NAMM? Do you just have to be music? Could you show up and sell? I don't know, muffins.
You could.
You could. That would be kind of
You don't-
ridiculous.
you don't
You'd
wanna
probably
spend
get
any-
dinged for it.
You could have
You'll spend-
you could have a sushi machine.
Over $10,000 selling muffins. That's cool. That's your cost.
something
It's
else.
$10,000 for a booth.
Well, not with the genie.
Yeah.
The genie makes it
booth.
so.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought you were talking. Yeah. Okay.
Kyle, how about yourself?
As smart as it would be for me now working for 2 different guitar companies to say option B, I have to go with the first wish. I'd rather have myself a fun little time and meet the stars and get the stories and get to play cool stuff from Norm's Rare Guitars. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm definitely picking number 1 because then I could get all of those people that I met on the show.
That's right.
Yeah, were you sitting in a booth probably isn't going to get them in there.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
I wouldn't walk up to you at a booth if you were just sitting there with a bunch of guitar knobs.
I wouldn't
stuff
walk
sitting
up to
around.
me either.
Yeah, so smart.
I would.
Thanks, Kyle.
You're welcome.
Depends on which hat you're wearing.
No, you know what? Honestly, we almost, and maybe this will happen next year. But there's a friend who approached us and said, hey, I think it'd be really great if you guys shared a booth with him. We're like, yeah, that'd be amazing. And there were some other people involved. I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be freaking killer. But that didn't work out this year. But maybe next, we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, so thank you, Jared, for that.
Yeah, that was a good one, Jared.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Good job, Jared.
We need to thank a few people, and then we're going to let Kyle go pack his guitars for NAMM.
Excellent. That's right, Todd. At this point of the show, there's a special group of people we love to thank. You know who they are? They're our executive producers. Now,
That's right.
an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become one? Head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate, become a friend, a sponsor, a hero of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win special giveaways. And we got some more of those coming out this year, don't we?
Indeed.
That's right.
But in addition to all that great stuff, there is one thing more. What would that be, I wonder?
You get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: John Sebastian, Trevor Ellenberg, Cameron Pampas, James Bell, Brett Hogarth, Don Kloss, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Rusty Sneeden, Vader and Pedals, John Halverson, Rick Calhoun, Trevor Gunberg, Elad Mizrahi, Richard Kendall, James White, Justin Jones, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer Effects, Anthony Lathrop, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Ken Sayers, Darren Gregory, Tom Barazin, Eric Merrow, Plutone, Michael Davenport, and Owen Eads.
Yes.
Yes, but Todd, there's more.
Oh, good.
Because we have a special group of executive producers. We call them our Grand Poobahs. These are the creme de la creme, the top of the heap, the A number ones, and they wear a fez upon their head whilst listening to the podcast, of course.
All the time.
So special thanks to these Grand Poobahs: Martin Cliff, Anthony Gemolero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Hex Matos, James Pennington, John Williams, LSJ Music Company, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Paul Von Eppinger, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, Tyler Casey Rhines, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wound Pickups,
That's right.
Pedro Vasquez, Gregory Randall, Mike Nationale, and I think there's one
Nazionale.
more. Nationale.
Hey.
When the moon hits your eye like a
Jared,
big
can you give us
pizza
a version
pie.
of that real quick?
Nazionale.
That's right. And I think there's one more.
Oh, yeah.
Moon Guitars.
So grateful. So grateful.
That's me. I know him. I'm wearing my fez right now.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I hope more than just the fez.
No, just the fez.
Send us a picture. We'll post it.
Yeah. Now, Rob, you had a question about one of the pictures on the About Us photo. What kind of dog is that? on your website. That's your
Kyle.
doggo. Yeah.
On my website?
Yeah.
Oh, Rosie?
Rosie.
Rosie is our
Shepherd mix.
little baby. She has like 3 different kinds of hound, Chow, Mastiff, German Shepherd.
Jeez.
The mutt of all mutts.
She is a mutt, but she's the most dog-shaped dog I've ever seen in my life.
It
She's
really
so
is
sweet.
a very dog-shaped dog.
She's so sweet. I love her.
Versus a alligator-shaped dog.
Well, if you look up, if you said dog silhouette, it would
Yeah,
be
what you
that.
mean. Yeah, especially
Yes.
that picture. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
She very much is the first dog I've ever had that like I get Hank Hill from King of the Hill now and his relationship with Ladybird. I get it. She's my Ladybird.
Love it. Oh dear. Well, anyways, that was just a little thing. We pull it up, and Rob's a super dog guy.
Yes,
So
we love
Oh
dogs
my.
here.
yeah.
Yep.
So was Todd.
No.
Oh, she was a baby in that picture too. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. All right, Kyle. Where can people find the things that you do?
You can find me at moonguitars.com. You can find me on Instagram at moonguitars. I'm going to be doing more on YouTube this year. As soon as we finally move locally and I have a bigger shop that's more attractive than the mess that is my basement currently.
Excellent. And if you are going in, make sure you swing by and see Kyle at the
The Grezenia Guitars booth.
Grezenia Guitars
Please come see us. We'll be right near the Victory Amps zone.
Oh,
Yay.
nice and loud.
Victory.
All right, Tony.
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do? I make custom pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do. Pick out a material. Send me your guard duplicate, whatever. I can make custom ones too. It's your opportunity to make your guitar even
You do a
more
good job.
yours.
He's
Yeah.
very, very good. You should absolutely hit
Good
up Todd.
job.
Yeah, indeed. Rob and yourself.
Instagram, Facebook, Mad Comification. I have a new request though. Please don't message me on either of those platforms. I am no longer even checking the messaging on there because there's
I'm
only so
gonna
many
message
hours.
Except
they
for the
go.
funny stuff that I send late at night on the toilet.
Yeah, you notice you never get a reply to those. So you just, why doesn't Rob reply to me? Yeah, well, but no, please email info@madcowamplification.com.
Smart.
Excellent. And Jared?
Instagram, jared.allen.brandon. Send me a thing and ask me about things and stuff. We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Seriously, I may not answer right away, but I will answer and I will respond.
Good. You can shoot me a DM at Guitar Knobs on Instagram. We love to get all the stuff that you want to send us. Get some great updates, and a lot of people are like, "Hey, I'm not a supporter, but I have been listening for a long time, and I appreciate whatever your story is. We want to hear it. We want to connect with you out there, so don't be shy, okay? Also, make sure you ping us if we're walking around now. We'd love to meet up with you and give you little high five and whatever else, okay? And Rob will give you like a sugar packet that he stole from the coffee booth or whatever. Okay. Have a fantastic Guitar Week, everybody, and subscribe.
Oh!
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, guys.
Jared, I got your 12.5 gallon hat. Thank you. That was very sweet.
You like it?
Yeah, it's cool. I just got to stuff the top of it with newspaper.
Yum.
Okay.
Coughed, hiccuped, and farted.
If those happen, call
Todd's
him an
broken.
ambulance.
I'm done with them, so don't worry, no more.
Okay.
No more chewy on the microphone.
Hey,
I'm sorry,
Jared.
guys.
Pack them into your
Rob?
cheeks.
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
Hey, just really quick, just so our guest doesn't feel like he's looking in the window of the family room here. Wait, Kyle.
Those are your two options.
that's it. That's all you
Diverts
got.
the problem to a different problem.
Finish that up there.
Can't put that on the funnies.
Rob's wearing his maroon T-shirt today.
Well, hang on. I want to hear what Tony's wearing too.
He's also wearing maroon.
No, mine's more red.
A cranberry.
A plain,
Yeah, I would-
plain
with maroon.
shirt.
No, I think he's right. Cranberry.
No, it's way too dark for cranberry. Cranberry's got more blue in it.
No.
It does.
The room is too dark.
No.
It's cranberry.
I am a visual artist.
It's blood orange.
Blood orange.
It's blood orange.
Todd has us.
At that point, it's your soul trying to get out of your body. Like,
Yeah.
Gallon of
I
milk.
got some bubbly lime.
Oh,
Really goes good with
well.
booze too. You know.
You know what you can do? You can mix that with milk, and it's really good.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, thanks, Tony. I'll try that.
Oh my goodness.
Are you okay, Todd?
I'm so sorry about that, Kyle.
You okay
what
now?
are you sorry for? You almost died.
Yeah, I almost died, you guys. Where were you? And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.